Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigamakalpatarorgalitam phalam sukamugadam ritadivasam bhutam vivatabhagudam rasamadayam muravaраsigabhu vibhavukah Narayanam namaskritya naram chaivaradottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet Nashtapaye shabadesho nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistike Ete cham sakala pumsam krishnastu bhagavan swayam indrari vyakulam yogam medyanti yoge yoge. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 10th chapter, text number 40. Yatha Yatha Bhagavato Bhaktya Paramaya Bheda Nripash Chaityadaya Satmyam Hares Tach Chintaya Yayo Yatha yatha bhagavato bhaktya paramaya bheda nripraschadhyadaya satnyam harets tach chintaya yayo Yatha yatha bhagavato Bhaktya paramaya bhida Nripaschaidyadaya satmyam Hares tachchintaya yayo Yatha yatha Just as Bhagavata of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhaktya, by devotional service, Paramaya, Supreme, Abhita, incessantly thinking of such activities, Nripa, kings, Chaidya, Adaya, Shishupal, Dantavakra and others. Satmyam, the same form. Hare, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tat Chintaya, by constantly thinking of Him. Yayo, returned home, back to Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. By devotional service, pure devotees who incessantly think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead receive bodies similar to His. This is known as Sarupya Mukti. Although Shishupal, Dantavakra, and other kings thought of Krishna as an enemy, they also achieved the same result. Purport. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, in connection with Lord Chaitanya's instructions to Sanatana Goswami, it is explained that a devotee should externally execute his routine devotional service in a regular way, but should always inwardly think of the particular mellow in which he is attracted to the service of the Lord. This constant thought of the Lord makes the devotee eligible to return home, back to Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad-Gita, Tyaktva deham puna janma naiti mam eti. After giving up his body, a devotee does not again receive a material body, but goes back to Godhead and receives a spiritual body resembling those of the Lord's eternal associates, whose activities he followed. However, the devotee likes to serve the Lord. He may constantly think of the Lord's associates, the cowboys, the gopis, the Lord's father and mother, his servants, and the trees, land, animal, plants, and the water in the Lord's abode. Because of constantly thinking with these features, one acquires a transcendental position. Kings like Shishupal, Dantavakra, Kamsa, Paundraka, Narakasur, and Shalva were all similarly delivered. This is confirmed by Madhvacharya. Paundrake, Narake, Chaiva, Shalve, Kamse, Charukmini. Avishtas tu Harer Bhaktas, Tad Bhaktya Harim Apire. Pundrak, Narakasur, Shalva, and Kamsa were all inimical towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But because all these kings constantly thought of him, they achieved the same liberation, Sarupya Mukti. The Jnana Bhakta, the devotee who follows the path of Jnana, also attains the same destination. If even the enemies of the Lord achieve salvation by constantly thinking about the Lord, what is to be said of pure devotees who always engage in the Lord's service and who think of nothing but the Lord in every activity? Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnanandanachalagaya Chakshodan Militam Yanam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitannamanovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sabadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutabadakamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yatha Yatha Bhagavato Bhaktya Paramaya Bhida Nriprascha Yadaya Satmyam Haristats Chintayo Yayo. Sisi Gonitai Ki, Sisi Krishna Balaram Ki, Sisi Radha Shyama Sundar Ki. By devotional service, pure devotees who incessantly think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead receive bodies similar to his. This is known as Sarupya Mukti. Although Shishupal, Dantavakra and other kings thought of Krishna as an enemy, they also achieved the same result. So here, in this chapter, Prahlad Maharaj is glorified as the best amongst exalted devotees. So Narada Muni was speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj, explaining about Prahlad Maharaj. And so then the question came up about these two associates of the Lord, or the two demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, who was the father of Prahlad Maharaj, but he appeared in a demon family. But so, Prahlad Maharaj was an exalted devotee, although he appeared in a demon family. So then Narada Muni was explaining about the position of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, who were actually the Lord's servants in Vaikuntha, but they were cursed to appear in this world as demons for 3 births. So then it was explained also that after being killed by the Lord, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, so they again took birth, and then they were killed by Lord Ramachandra. And one more time they took birth as demons, so Narada Muni was explaining then as to Yudhishthira as Shishupal and Dantavaraka. And they were also killed by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in here, specifically in this verse, so he's explaining to Yudhishthira Maharaj, Narada Muni, that Yatha Yatha Bhagavato, that the pure devotees, bhaktya, by devotional service, they can, by constantly thinking of the Supreme Lord, they can go to the abode of the Lord. And here it is explained about Sarupya Mukti. They can have same form as the Lord, or similar form as the Lord. Not exactly the same, but very similar to the Lord. That is known as Sarupya, same bodily features. So 5 kinds of liberations are explained: Sayujya, Sarupya, Samipya, Salokya, and Sarshti. So 4 are accepted by the devotees having similar form as the Lord, like Vishnu, 4-armed Vishnu form is there, and the servants of Vishnu, they also have 4-armed forms. Very beautiful form. Satchidananda Sarup, eternal, blissful, transcendental form. Similar bodily features, but still there is a difference. They're the servants of the Lord. And then Salokya, living on the same planet. Samipya, very closely being with the Lord, being able to serve very intimately in Vaikuntha, but still as a servant. That position is always there in Vaikuntha as a servant. Aishwarya Bhav is there. Supreme Lord is there and we are His servants. But love, there's a loving exchange there. But at the same time, some Aishwarya is there. Some restriction is there. So they cannot embrace the Lord. So as Prabhupada is explaining about Sanatana Goswami, who is mentioning, of course, not only Sanatana Goswami, also Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, the 6 Goswamis, were eternal associates of the Lord, and they were asked by the Lord to come to Braj and excavate the lost holy places, pastimes places, Lilastan of the Lord, and to write transcendental literatures about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, about the process of devotional service for our benefit. So one of them, Sanatana Goswami, Prabhupada is mentioning that he's explaining about the sadak, about a devotee who is externally performing devotional service. Sadak Sharir, as a practicing devotee, chanting the holy names, the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then worshipping the deities and hearing the transcendental literatures from the lotus mouth of the pure devotee, performing various services for the pleasure of the Lord. But then he's explaining about one has to inwardly think of a particular mellow in which one is attracted towards the Lord. And then referring to the eternal associates of Krishna in Braj. So where the exchange is there with Krishna and the devotees, full of love, the highest degree of love is found in Braj. And there, they're not aware that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the Antaranga Shakti, the internal potency of the Lord. So whereas in Vaikuntha they are aware that Vishnu is the Supreme Lord. So they may be close and there's a loving exchange. But still, Vishnu is the Supreme Lord and everyone else is the servant of the Lord. Even Lakshmi Devi, of course, she is in a special position, the eternal consort of the Lord, so conjugal relationship is there. As husband and wife, Swakiya Bhav. But she's also always in that mood that I am the servant of the Lord. I have to serve my Swami, Narayan, Vishnu. Whereas in Braj, they all have also the Seva Bhav that we have to serve Krishna. But at the same time, that is not the prominent Bhav, the sthai bhav, the permanent ecstasy of the relationship with Krishna. Rather, the parental affection is there, Maria Yashoda, Nanda Baba. They think that Krishna is my son. So, and that is so much relished by Krishna, that loving exchange. And the devotees are relishing that. Very intimate. And then the friends of Krishna, Sudam, Sridam, Madhumangal, and so on. They are embracing Krishna. They are playing with Krishna. And then of course the foremost are the gopis. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Taniyastad Dhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Pasana Vrajavada Vargana Yakalpitaha Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Prema Pumattamaham Sri Chaitan Mahaprabhumatam Idam Tatra Danaparaha. That is a verse by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And Srila Prabhupada many times in his lectures he was quoting this verse. So that is the opinion of Mahaprabhu. He came to give this opinion. He came to establish a Yugadhamma, the chanting of the holy names. The Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So then specifically also, as explained here, the eternal mood has to be there. Inwardly thinking of a particular mellow. So, and Mahaprabhu, so he came to give this bhav, Braj bhav, how the Brijvasis are serving Krishna. So chanting the holy names, but with this Braj bhav. So that is the intimate relationship then with Krishna and the eternal associates, which is not there in Vaikuntha. But they have love for Vishnu. But it is not to the highest degree. And then Sarshi is there to have almost equal opulence of the Supreme, as the Supreme Lord. But even there, actually the highest opulence is found in Braj. All that is covered by the sweetness of the loving exchange between Krishna and his devotees. So that is one point which Prabhupada is making here, which is very important. So we should not just simply chant the holy names and externally serve with this body. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. So we have to come to this platform, Atma Tattva, of the Atma, and then especially in Braj Bhav. And then try to, as Rupa Goswami has explained in the Nectar of Devotion, Seva Sadaka Rupena, Siddha Rupena Chatrahi, Tad Bhavalipsana Karya Brajalokana Sarataha. So a Sadaka, Seva Sadaka Rupena. So we hear a sadaka, chanting the holy name, serving externally with this body. But then Siddha Rupena Chatrahi, Tad Bhavalipsana Karya Brajalokana Sarataha. But then in the Siddha Sarup, on the transcendental platform of the soul, which is our real nature, Jivera Supoi Krishnera Nityadas. So we have the Satchananda Sarup. So we have to come to this platform and then with loving feelings, just like the bridge buses. So we should serve. So that is a very important point. So, but always then, we are known as Siddha Rupena Chatri Tad Bhava Lipsuna Karya Brajalok Sarataha. Braj, Lok Anusarata, following the bridge buses. So Sadaka, we following Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. But especially Rupa Goswami, as we are known as Rupanuga Vaishnavas, following Rupa Goswami. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada, after chanting Om Ajnanatimirandasya, immediately offered obeisances. So first offering obeisances to the spiritual master, but then offering obeisances to Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, who is the very confidential associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then on the higher level, so Siddha Rupena Chatra, on the transcendental platform on which we have to come ultimately and stay on the transcendental platform. Then, so we should follow then Rupa Manjari, very dear maidservant of Srimati Radharani. So of course we cannot prematurely try to be absorbed on this higher platform, but we should know and we should endeavor to come to this platform eventually. So as Rupa Goswami again has explained, so the 3 steps, of course, of devotional service, to first sadhana bhakti, and that is divided in 2. First comes Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. So following the rules and the regulations, which we have to do, even one is more advanced, then he still has to follow the rules and regulations because Maya is very strong. So one has to be always careful, but also to set the example, to teach the others. So we have to follow the rules and regulations given by Srila Prabhupada, the previous acharyas, Rupa Goswami. But then eventually we should come to the second part of Vaidhi Bhakti, of Sadhana Bhakti, that is Raganuga Bhakti. So that means following the Ragatmik Jan. So that is known as Raganuga Bhakti. Those who have Ragatmik Jan, that is those who have high level of love for Krishna. So different levels of prema there, prem, sneha, man, rag, anurag, bhav. So Mahabhav. So which the gopis have, that is the highest. As Mahaprabhu has said, Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Taniyastad Dhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Brajabad Varganaya Kalpitaha. So Aradhya Dev, Ishtadev is Krishna Brajendanandan Shyam Sundar. Brajesha, Braja Ish, the king of Braj, that is Nanda Babaraj, Nanda Baba. Tanaya, his son, Krishna. Although he is the source of everything, but he appears as the son of Nanda Baba. So he is Aradhya Bhagavan, he is our Ishtadev. Tad Dham Vrindavanam. And similarly, Vrindavan Dham is as worshipable. So we have to respect Vrindavan Dham. And therefore, when we worship the deities, of course, first we worship Guru, then Gauranga, and then Krishna. But before worshipping Krishna, we offer respect to the Dham. Because Krishna is in the Dham, so we should be in the Dham, in the consciousness. Moraman Vrindavan. So, as Mahaprabhu said, my mind is in Vrindavan. And as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Prabhupada used to say, that Bina Dham Seva, no Nam Seva. So without Dham Seva, there is no Nam Seva. We have to remember the holy Dham, and then we can chant properly Hare Krishna, and then we can remember Krishna. Sometimes. So we have to practice every day, so we can remember Krishna more and more. The goal is to always remember Krishna, but we know it is not so easy. If we analyze our day, 24 hours are there. So first of all, at least 6 hours the devotees are sleeping, unless they are highly advanced. 6 hours already lost. And then eating, and then going to the bathroom, and of course we should also remember Krishna while eating, but who can do that? Not so easy. The mind, the senses see the prasad, especially the sweets, rasgula, rasmalai, and the thinking of Krishna is mostly gone. Rasgula, even not the sabji chapati, and then taking bath. Even at that time, one is supposed to remember Krishna. And the Brahmanas, you can see in India, when they are taking bath, they will chant, Om Appavitra Pavitra Va Sarva Vastam Garopi Va Yasmarit Pundarikaksham Sabhaya Vyantara Suchihi. By remembering Pundarikaksha, Krishna, who has very beautiful lotus eyes like lotus petals, one becomes cleansed inside and outside, Suchi, by Abhyantara. So this is the Varun Snan, taking bath with water, but then one has to remember Krishna also. So that is most important. Always remember Krishna, never forget him. Smartavya Sataram Vishnu Rismartavya Najatu Chit Sarva Vidhi Nisheda Suretayoreva Kinkaraha. From Padma Purana. So many rules and regulations are there, what to do and what not to do, which we have to follow as much as possible. But most important is that we should always remember Krishna. That is the Vidhi. And what is Nished? We should not do? Forget him. We should not forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget him. So it is a practice, as Prabhupada has explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also, Nectar of Devotion, that this Krishna consciousness, it is a cultivation. So we have to practice every day to remember Krishna more and more. So all the time that is the goal, but gradually, step by step. In the beginning stage we may chant the holy names and hardly even remember Krishna, nothing there. But we are supposed to remember, especially when we are chanting, we are supposed to remember Krishna. Krishna Nam is not different. Krishna, Krishna Nam. Nama Chitamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Purna Shuddha Nirabhukta Vinatvam Nama Naminaha. So we're supposed to remember Krishna while chanting. Anytime, but especially while chanting. Even if we are not chanting, we are serving, we're supposed to remember Krishna, which is not easy. Therefore, it is recommended Kirtaniya Sarari, because that is easier to chant than to remember Krishna. So when we are chanting, we are connected with Krishna, although we may not see Krishna at the beginning. But by constantly chanting and by endeavoring to become pure in consciousness, then we will be able to remember Krishna. The more we are pure, the more we can remember Krishna. At a certain point, when one is highly elevated, then one doesn't even have to endeavor. Then Krishna will manifest on the tongue while chanting. Krishna will dance on the tongue, or dance in the ears, dance in the heart, in the eyes, with the gopis especially. Eyes dancing also sometimes with the cowherd boys. They're also sometimes dancing and playing around. But mostly Krishna is dancing Ras Lila with the gopis. So pure chanting is there, Shuddhanam, then Krishna will manifest on the tongue. And the pastimes will be there in the heart. And if Krishna is disappearing, then the devotee will lament and cry, as Mahaprabhu showed by his example, especially in Jagannath Puri. Vipralamba Kshetra, the place of separation, Vipralamba Bhav. But first of all, one must have some attraction towards Krishna, some love for Krishna. And then when Krishna disappears from the consciousness, then one can cry out for Krishna. But of course that is already higher level, but we should try to know where we have to go. And we have to see where we are, and we should pray that we can advance. But it will take some time. But we have to remain enthusiastic. Utsan nischay dharya tatta karma pravartanat sangatyaga sato vrite sadbir bhaktir prasiddhati. So how our bhakti becomes prasiddhati, becomes siddha. How we become siddha, perfect? By constantly endeavor, utsaha, with enthusiasm, nishta, firm determination, no matter what. This person is disturbing me, it is too hot, it is too cold. Somebody stole my mobile. No problem. We have to remember Krishna. Very insignificant, all these things, but many times in brahmacharis, supposed to live simple, and then have a mobile, and then have to buy the best mobile, 20,000, and they lose it. They get very disturbed. But now, fixed, and on Krishna's transcendental form, fixed in devotional service, in chanting the holy names without disturbance. The mind should not go here and there. Only remember Krishna, or Krishna's associates, Krishna's pastimes, the process of devotional service, positive. Or feeling separation if you cannot remember Krishna, crying out to Krishna. But it will take some time till we come to the higher level of devotional service. Therefore, Dharya, we have to be very patient. And not, I already chanted five years and still I cannot always remember Krishna. Tears are not coming from my eyes like torrents of rains. So if there is no Purva Samskar, it will take time. If there are no previous impressions from previous life, it will take time. Tatta karma pravartanat, but still, no matter what, even if it is difficult, we have to try our best. By always engaging in Navavrita Bhakti, the ninefold process of devotional service, hearing, chanting. As Prahlad Maharaj is explaining, hearing, chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. First we hear, then we chant, then we can remember. And when we can remember nicely, then Pada Sevanam, Archanam, then only we can properly worship the Lord. And then we should offer prayers to the Lord regularly. So there are so many verses, beautiful verses by the previous acharyas, which we may learn and then recite, and then we may remember Krishna. Kasturi tilakam lalata patale vaksastale kostamam nasagre varamuktidam karatale venukare kankanam sarvangari chandanam saritam kante chamuktavali gopastri pariveshtito vijayate gopala chodamani. So we remember Krishna, Gopala Chudamani, the crest jewel, the most beautiful, charming cowboy. Gopastri pariveshtito. Pariveshtito is surrounded or encircled by the gopis, Gopastri. Kasturi tilakam, on his forehead he has tilak. But of course, when we paint the deity in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we have the tilak, like we wear. Krishna has the same tilak. But Kasturi Tilakam actually, and even for example, you can see in India, when there is any ceremony, Yagyanustan, Dasavida Samskara, different samskars are there, auspicious ceremony. Then they will put tilak to the Yajaman, to the one who is sponsoring the ceremony. So there is only one dat, that is also tilak. Kasturi Tilakam, that is taken from the musk of the deer, very fragrant. But even without the tilak, it's not that always Krishna has the tilak, but mostly. Even without tilak, Krishna's transcendental body is so beautiful. Very nice fragrance is emanating from Krishna's body. But still it is mentioned, the Kasturi Tilak is there and very fragrant. But anything which is on Krishna, even without anything, Krishna, small Krishna, baby Krishna, he was so beautiful. Maria Yashoda, even without cloth, so beautiful Krishna, his transcendental body, a small boy, giving so much pleasure to Maria Yashoda. But then he has beautiful Pitambara Vesh, yellow cloth, Vaijanti Mala, beautiful garland made by the gopis, 5 kinds of flowers are there, very beautiful, and beautiful ornaments, earrings, and necklace, and of course the most dear companion of Krishna, the flute, is there always with Krishna, unless the gopis are stealing the flute. And then Krishna has to run behind the gopis to get his flute. So Krishna is always most beautiful. But at the same time, he has beautiful garland, beautiful dress, beautiful necklaces, and Kasturi Tilakam is there, made with the musk of the deer, and some chandan is mixed, and it is put here as a dot. And Srimati Radharani, of course, she has the tilak, Sobhagya Yantra, Sobhagya Tilak, tilak of good fortune, or Smera Yantra, the god of love, is manifested there also, bewildering Krishna. So the pastimes of Krishna and Braja are most beautiful, and so they should be contemplated upon. Therefore Prabhupada used to say every day we should read the Krishna book in the evening, new bhaktas. We used to do that. Nowadays I don't know how much they read in Krishna book, even the new bhaktas. I hope they are drinking milk and then hearing Krishna's pastime, one devotee reading, then the other devotee is drinking some milk and some puff rice. Now, Krishna book most probably is on the shelf, and they have a little opulent prasad, dosha, sabji, idlis. It's okay, but we have to control. And the thing is, we have to remember Krishna, even while taking Krishna prasad. And so therefore, amongst the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, many times while they're taking prasadam, suddenly one devotee will chant some mantra. Maduram madurebhyopi, mangalebhyopi mangalam, pavanam pavanebhyopi, hare nama eva kevalam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Krishna Nam, so that is Hare Nama eva kevalam. As Mahaprabhu also told, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kola nastyava gatyaranyatha. There is no other way to attain perfection in the age of Kali. Only Hare Nam. And Krishna Nam, Maduram Madurebhyopi. Most sweet thing is Krishna Nam. Pavanam Pavanebhyopi. Most purifying. Mangalam Mangalebhyopi. Most auspicious. Krishna Nam. So while taking prasad, so we should also remember, or we may chant sometimes the Maha Mantra, so that we are remaining in the Seva Bhav. Sarira Avijaja, so Vaishnav Seva is the Prasad Seva mantra, so we should remember. Even I honoring Prasad, and we are not eating, we are honoring Prasad, not different from Krishna. So we have to practice to constantly remember Krishna, right? After getting up, immediately we have to remember Guru, Gauranga, and Krishna. And before taking rest in the evening, we offer pranam to Guru, Gauranga, and Krishna. And we pray that we may dream about Krishna. Or when we get up, we may remember or chant the Maha Mantra. So then there's a chance of going back home to God, as Prabhupada is explaining in the Bhagavad-Gita, Tyaktva dhyam puna janma naityamam et naityamam. After giving up this body, a devotee does not again receive material body, but goes back to Godhead and receives a spiritual body resembling those of the Lord's associates, whose activities he has followed. So we have to follow the eternal associates of Krishna in Braj. Then we can go to Braj. Otherwise not possible. Mahaprabhu has told in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned, without Raganuga Bhakti we will not go to Braj. So that is an important point. Tyaktva dhyam puna janma naityamam eti sa Arjuna. And then also it is explained there that Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. That is the first part of this verse. And then tyaktva. But what comes first? Janma karma chame divyam. So janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. Veti tattvataha. Means veti means to know, tattvata in truth. Properly understanding the Siddhanta of the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. And to know, so in truth means to be absorbed in Krishna. Then only one can know Krishna. If one is absorbed in remembering Krishna, serving Krishna, then only one can know Him. Veti tattvataha. That comes 3 times in the Bhagavatam. Manushanam seshu kashchi mam veti tattvataha. So different kinds of devotees, some are thinking a little bit of the Lord, some more, but one who knows Him completely is fully absorbed, veti tattvataha. And also in the 18th chapter, bhaktyamam abhijavati veti tattvataha. There also by bhakti. If one has bhakti, love for Krishna, so then one can know Him. And then one will not take birth again. If one is remember Krishna only a few minutes a day, then that is not enough. So remembering Krishna ultimately means the personal form. Krishna is a person. So while chanting Hare Krishna, we should remember the person Krishna. And not the Brahmajyoti, the effulgence of the Lord. Nothing. So while chanting, we should remember Krishna, Krishna's associates, Krishna's pastimes. If you cannot, if you are not advanced, then we pray that we can do at least a few moments. And then when we can chant a few moments, we pray that we can chant more the next day and better, and that we can remember better. So then when one is constantly able to remember, then one will go and join the pastimes of the Lord. So here the other point here, which is mentioned, that the demons, Shishupal, Dantavakra, they achieved the same result. They were also liberated. So that is because they were remembering Krishna, but as an enemy. So, but as we know, so they were actually the doorkeepers in Vaikuntha, Jai and Vijay. So they became demons by the Lord's will. So these demons who were killed by Krishna, most of them, they were not just some insignificant persons, there were some great demons, and so yes, and so they were able to remember Krishna almost all the time, but not favorable, and that is ultimately not recommended. But still, just to see how to show that how merciful Krishna is. So it is mentioned that they were also liberated. They got the same result. And Shishupal and Dantavakra, they were again going back to Vaikuntha and then serving the Lord. But not all of them have the same actually destination. Some they merged in the body of the Lord, and so in this way they actually attained Sayujya Mukti. But they were not fully liberated. That is one kind of liberation, merging in the body of the Lord or in a personal Brahman, Sayujya. That is actually not desired. But it is a kind of liberation, liberation from material world, but it is a conditioned state. But everyone in the spiritual world is liberated. But those who merge in the Brahma Jyoti, so they are liberated, but they are in the conditioned state of liberation. Real liberation is when one is serving the Lord in a loving relationship, when there is a loving exchange. So these are the Nitya Siddha, always serving Krishna. The others are Nitya Baddha, eternally conditioned in the Brahma Jyoti. And when the material world is manifested, then they come here, and then they can become liberated by the Lord's mercy, and then join the pastimes of the Lord, which is the perfection of life. So that have the previous acharyas, they have explained very clearly, ultimately. So because there's a difference there between the demons and the devotees, but they are liberated also, the demons, but depending on for example, Shishupal and Datta Vakra, because they were supposed to come for 3 lives as demons, so they were again going back. So others, they were not in that position, and they were merging in the form of the Lord, and which is actually not what the devotees actually want. And that is not the ultimate liberation. The ultimate liberation, that is serving the Lord in loving exchange. So therefore, Rupa Goswami has explained, Anukulina Krishna Nushilanam Bhakti Uttamam should be Anukul Bhav. It should be favorable, the love towards Krishna. As Krishna wants, Krishna Nushilanam. That is real bhakti, love. And that is the proper way of how to attain liberation. But still it is mentioned here that Lord is so merciful, even if He's killing somebody, that person will get some kind of liberation. But the real liberation, so even it is mentioned while we'll chant one time Hare Krishna, one time Sri Jagannath, one is liberated. That is true. But full liberation is when one is serving Krishna and realizing Krishna Sarup and our Sarup. Sarup Siddhi. That is real liberation. Otherwise one is on the path of liberation and considered liberated, but if one is only one time chanting Hare Krishna, so at the time of death most probably he will not remember Krishna, he will not enter the pastimes of Krishna, he will have to take birth again. Even one time seeing Jagannath, that is not enough. It is the beginning of liberation. But then one has to practically engage in devotional service and become perfect. Then one can enter the pastimes of the Lord. And that is the actual liberation, and that is actually what we want. So Anukul Bhav, that is very important. That should be favorable, as Krishna wants, not the way that we want, even in the conditioned state. Therefore Rupa Goswami Pada has explained, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma navritam. It should not be covered by the desire of I want something in exchange, I do some service, I want something in return. Or even to become knowledgeable, I want to be known as a great devotee or something. No. I want to serve Krishna for Krishna's pleasure as He wants. So that is pure devotional service. So we should try to come to that platform. And then one can attain liberation in this lifetime. So otherwise one will have to take birth again and again, if one is not coming to the perfectional stage. So that should be clearly understood. Hare Krishna. It is 9:10. I took a little more time, so we stop here. Maharaj, you have any comments? You want to say something? Or anybody else has a question? Yes.
Quick question. No, it's coming. It's coming. Huh? It's coming.
Thank you, Guru, for this class. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions that towards the end of the purport, he says that the jnana bhakta,
Yes.
the devotee who follows the path of jnana, also attains the same destination.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on that?
Yes. So you see here, Prabhupada was explaining, and also as referring to the verse, that even the demons, they can get liberation. So therefore then he's saying, what to speak of others? What to speak of the devotees? The jnanis, they will also get liberation. And then what to speak of the devotees who are favorably serving the Lord? They will all get liberation. But again, the same point is there, that ultimately in order to actually join the pastimes of the Lord, Nitya Lila Pravesh, enter the pastimes of the Lord. So in order to be able to do that, so we have to serve Krishna with love, bhakti with bhakti, which is free from discovering of jnana and karma. So that Rupa Goswami has explained. But again, we can see that so the jnanis, the jnana bhaktas, so they are engaged in devotional service and they are studying the scriptures and they have knowledge, and so they are very fortunate, and they are on the path of perfection. And it is actually also guaranteed that they will attain perfection, but it will be in due course of time. So if the jnani bhaktis are there, but if they don't have bhakti, if they are not serving Krishna, then they will not enter the pastimes of the Lord. So in order to enter the pastimes of the Lord, one has to come to the platform of bhakti. But acquiring knowledge is actually very important, and being detached from this material world. Vairagya vidya nija bhakti-yoga sikshatam. So, Eka Purusha Purana se Krishna Chaitanya Sharidhari Kripambariya Yastamam Prabhadye. This is a verse by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya glorifying Mahaprabhu. Vairagya vidya nija bhakti-yoga sikshatam Eka Purusha Purana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he came to actually give his own devotional service, pure devotional service, as the Brijabasis have. Although he's the Supreme Lord, but he came as a devotee to show us how to serve the Lord, just like the Brijabasis. And so he came also, of course, to give this transcendental knowledge, Vidya. So we need transcendental knowledge in order to advance. And then Vairagya, we have to become detached from this material world. Both are important, Vairagya, Jnana and Vairagya. But more important is Bhakti. But especially in the beginning stage, one has to try to become detached from the material world, and one has to acquire transcendental knowledge from the pure devotees. Because if you're not hearing about Krishna, about the process of devotional service, about pure devotional service, if you're simply chanting, but we are not hearing about Krishna, about pure devotional service, and if you are attached to sensual gratification, if you are not detached, then you will not attain perfection. You may chant for many lifetimes. If you are chanting with offenses, aparadhanam, so being attached to this material world, and that 4 kinds of anarthas, unwanted things, the 8 stages of devotional service, Ada Shraddha. First Shraddha has to be there, faith. Then sadhu sangha, then bhajana kriya, performing devotional service, and then anatta nivritti, becoming free from anarthas. One kind of anartha is, 4 kinds of anarthas are there, asat trishna, being attached to what is not permanent. And then hridaya dolbalya, weakness of heart. Although we know we should not do certain things, still we are doing. And then aparad, committing offenses. And the 4th is Sarup Brahma, not being completely knowledgeable about the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His transcendental form and qualities and pastimes, and then not being aware of the process of pure devotional service. that is a kind of illusion, and a kind of anatta. If that is not removed, then you will not come to the highest stage of nishta and ruchi, being fixed and having taste for chanting the holy names. And then only when you have taste for the holy names, then you can give up the taste for these material things. And then you can be attached to Krishna asakti. And you can give up all material things. And then comes the platform of bhav. Transcendental emotions are coming from the soul. And then there's a real loving exchange with Krishna. And then everything is revealed. You Krishna Sarup and you Sarup, and then you can enter the pastimes. But if you're not knowledgeable, and if you're attached to the material things, then you will not be able to enter the pastimes of Krishna after giving up this body. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yes. Last question, because it is 9:15 and devotees have various services and everyone wants to take Krishna Prasad. Yes.
Sarupa Mukti, you said you are same features as the Lord.
Yes.
So same features as the Lord and the same qualities of the Lord are also there.
Yes, you can say same form and same qualities as the Lord, but not exactly the same. There's always a difference between Vishnu and the servant of Vishnu, although they also have 4 arms. And similar qualities are also very powerful. And by the Lord's mercy, they can become empowered, the devotees. But still there's a difference always. Some difference is there. That is explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The Lord has unlimited qualities, but 64 are mentioned, 4 which only Krishna has. The Rupa Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, Lila Madhurya, and Prem Madhurya, loving exchange with his devotees in Braj. Krishna's transcendental beautiful form. And then the flute. So of Krishna, and when he's playing the flute, most enchanting. So the Madhurya Bhava is there, which is not in Vaikuntha. But otherwise, Vishnu, Ramchandra, Dwarkadish, they have so many transcendental qualities. Vishnu Tattva. And the living entities, they can get up to a certain amount of qualities similar to Vishnu, but not all of them. Some only Vishnu has, which the others cannot have, even his eternal associates. So some difference is there. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaunitai ki, Krishna Balaram ki, Radha Shama Sundar ki.